I don't know. This is it's been an interesting series to say the least so far. Really curious to see how this third one plays out.
Yeah, the first one was kind of, always, Hasuobs didn't feel too pressured. I mean, there were some instances, but getting that third up was really important. And then suddenly, like, the second game was just over in a flash.
Yeah. All right. The series is tied up 1-1. We find ourselves in game number 3, folks. Spawning in the top right corner of the map, playing for Mouse Sports. It is the Blue Protoss Mouse Hasuobs.
And in the upper left, as the Red Terran, it is my Insanity's Jjakji.
Of course, the Twitter of both of those players, if you're not following them already, you should be. After a series like this, after those past games, these guys are awesome, and you should definitely try to keep up to date with where they are with more in the future. It failed, I think? I'm not sure what he's talking about. Oh, you need to turn off stronger team colors. Or, not stronger team, but off team colors. Like Alt plus F or something. For those who don't know, if you're on the Game Heart map mod, you've never used it before, and you've got team colors enabled, it does make everybody yellow by default. You have to make sure you don't have team colors forced on.
Yeah, I just follow you, so it changes.
Well, whatever works. Anyways, Jjakji is going to find himself in a situation in this game where there's the potential of taking a gold base. And for a Terran player, securing a gold base always seems to feel like it's a little bit easier. And it's never even just because of the planetary fortress or drop of mules or anything like that. It's just the mobility of your army allows for a little bit more fluent combination of aggression as well as defense here in the middle of the map. But of course, let's not forget, big if, you get siege tanks in the game, they can be really great at sniping off your opponent's gold too. But same can be said for Colossus, same can be said for Storms. One of the most annoying things is you can walk Templar up to this edge and storm that mineral line. So the gold base is a really big, sometimes almost a bait more than anything else.
Yeah, and as the game, as the map develops, rather, we're going to see more people really think a lot harder about, do I take the gold base or not? We already see a lot of people not taking the gold base, taking that third in the southern position because, it's a gold base, so that's great. But there's also so many, bad things about it too.
Well, Engineering Bay block going to come down here out of Jjakji. This is going to be a bit of an annoyance for Hasuobs, someone who's been able to get away with his expansion every single game so far. What this does too is it can sometimes buy you a little bit of time. Oh, probe died over here, so I missed that. What this can do is buy you a little bit of time as a Terran player, because oftentimes, there's a Zealot, there's a Stalker, and the Mothership Core that float across the map, and you're kind of like, okay, what can I do but take a bit of damage? Instead, they're going to devote their time to tearing down the Engineering Bay, and, this actually saves you a lot of trouble down the line.
Yeah. Again, with that, Zealot coming out, it just has to. You can't cancel it, just kill it with a probe, so. But it can, of course, try and counterattack afterwards.
Ooh. Oh, so Jjakji did go for a wall off at the top of the ramp here. You don't see it a lot versus Terran player, or versus Protoss.
Yeah, that's true, you don't. You also didn't go for a Reaper opener.
So a big reason why you typically don't see this so much, guys, is it's really easy for, again, we talked about that small poke that comes out, and if you got a Stalker and a Mothership Core, Marines can't deal with either or too easily in low numbers, so oftentimes Stalker's right here, Mothership Core's given vision, it picks off a depot for free.
Yeah. I mean, if you're relatively sure the bunker can get up in time and you have enough Marines to stop that from happening, then
yeah.
There's no problem. But if they went for like an early attack or something with a Stalker, then yeah, that'd pretty much be a free depot to give away. It doesn't happen too often, but it does. So that's why you see, less common. Of course, it's not going to happen here. The Militia Corps goes in the main, gets good scouting information, although we're really going to scout at this point. I guess maybe he's got a factory instead of a command center. It's possible.
Yeah, 3 Marines are all you need to drive this off. Hasuobs, though, putting a Stargate down in the most weird place for it to go, and that's okay, because it's not going to get scouted by Jjakji. That being said, Jjakji's got, with that earlier reactor, more than enough Marine production to cover at least one of his bases. Covering 2 might be a little bit more difficult, but with the Widow Mines coming out... oh god, actually, if he goes for a drop, and he moves out too early, and the Oracle comes in afterwards, that could be a little bit frustrating to deal with.
This is a really it's a build that has happened in the past that just crosses, and it can become a really weird game.
He's guarding against, like, the Marine spread. Like, he's expecting the Oracle to come from over here. But, of course, we know that that's not going to happen. We got a Stalker, Zealot, Mothership Core moving towards the front, too. There is no bunker down yet. Widow Mine will be really nice. That'll snipe off a bit of damage here. Lots of Marines, though, still. Not quite sure if he's able to safely remove them from his mineral line or not, but there's the Oracle on the way as we speak.
So there's no Widow Mine that's in a position to get the Oracle, because it's not going to attack the front ramp, obviously. But the second one might be put in a position that will. It would be really clutch. Oh, darn, that's what I was afraid of. He does put it over on the right side, thinking that it's going to come over from there, if it is going to come over, and that's just not going to be the case. Luckily, there's not too many like SCVs that go down at the natural, so it shouldn't be, like, you know, that big of losses.
One of these SCVs is going to have a very quick, swift death, though. It's already at 5 health, I mean. That's going to die really quick. The turret down's kind of cool. You can always retreat to it, I guess, if necessary. But what I do like is that Jjakji's not going to deal with any pressure from the front anytime soon. Hasuobs doesn't really have a further force, and it's just this Oracle that's a possible threat. Drop has been loaded up. Heading towards the main. There is... Alright, an observer on the way. So detection will not be an issue for the Widow Mine.
No. But it could still get a, you know, they can actually take on this army if it's not in the range of the cannon. I'm not sure about habitation station. I don't think it is on the ramp. In fact, he's not even popping right now. I actually feel so confident that he will not, but that's
tries to
a
get
little too confident.
Yeah, almost gets the mothership core. I like that micro on the Marines, by the way, picking up the low ones, keeping them a little bit safe inside the medevac. Only loses 1 Marine so far. Actually, no, I take that back. Hasn't lost much of anything here on the drops. Did lose the Widow Mine, though, which was a little unfortunate.
He lost the Oracle, which is pretty big.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
It didn't do much damage at all. He doesn't do really a whole lot with a drop either. Almost got the Magic Core, but not quite. So, you know, not too much to say right there. But getting the Oracle, that was pretty big. I mean, you did invest into it, obviously, by going for that proxy, going for the hidden one, and it just did absolutely nothing.
That's weird, too, because like the angle in which it would come from was really nice, too. I like that a lot. Like, as stated before, Josh is praying Widow Mines here, Marines are spread out here. Like, he was ready for the Oracle, coming from the standard location, but not the awkward one.
Yeah. Well, Widow Mine drop, a little bit of a different opener. It actually ended up working out really well for Jjakji in the defense at the very least. It also gets good scouting information. You know, if the Oracle didn't go ahead and reveal what it was, then, you know, if it was like a 2-base Dark Shrine, the Widow Mine drop actually scouts it in time to get defense up. But of course, Jjakji already covered that base.
Yeah. One thing I'm a little bit worried about, too, is we do have Vortex... I don't know why I keep doing this. He's not even Zerg. Hasuobs is going to charge light. He's getting the Templar Archives out. He'll probably try and get that Storm out, too. But he's lacking the armor upgrades, which really is what I feel makes his composition so strong. I mean, Storm is cool. It's great, whatever. But you never really see a Storm straight up kill an army. It's the Zealots that are, like, almost untouchable that sweep in and clean everything up.
Yeah, it is. It is weird not to see, you know, immediately +1 armor for the charge lots. But he's choosing to get that Storm.
No, it doesn't even have Forge down, so...
He, you know, I guess since he also went for the Robo and had to defend against the attack, he just couldn't find the gas to go for a Forge. But of course he'll get it eventually. He just has to survive. You know, he's too afraid of the medevac timing to go ahead and risk getting an upgrade as opposed to Storm.
Yeah, well, I guess it kind of works too, because what we do see is Hasuobs does have... He's suffering from a very small army supply value at the moment. And if he was investing in like double forges, upgrades, or anything like that, he would have even less to deal with. Proxy is found out here in the lower left. We'll clean this up. Killing the pylon, of course, a big priority to prevent warpins more than anything else. Yeah, that's definitely true. And of course, getting that Stargate so he doesn't produce Phoenixes later on, which is what he did in the last few games, is also pretty key. He leaves 1 Marine, so that's going to be quite an ordeal for him. Okay, this is your job now. This is your life. We'll see you in 12 years after you tear down the Stargate.
Yeah. That's not the best life. Production tab for Jjakji, just going insane compared to Hasuobs right now. Yeah. Getting a lot of everything, including that 3rd command center that could go to the gold or the southern base. Not quite sure yet. It's in the middle right now, like literally in the middle. Getting a Ghost Academy as well. Usually you see the medevac timing, you know, sooner, and they're kind of trying to pile on aggression before they go for the Ghost Academy. But Jjakji not really finding an opportunity to do so. Although this is quite a big army. I mean, Storm's scary, and he has mostly Marines, but with good splits, that's like 5 Storms, though, so maybe not. Yeah, this is what I was saying about before, too. Like, without those armor upgrades, these Zealots, yeah, they're going to charge in, and they'll do a decent amount of damage, but they're going to be somewhat squishy compared to what we normally see coming out of Zealots. Yeah, as we see, just being picked off here pretty quickly. I like that bait with that Marauder. So the High Templars, of course, always drag behind a little bit. You can get some free Zealots. And also a Doom
so out of possession. Yeah, goes for full recall, though. Great choice here out of Hasuobs, knowing how big of a deal this was to hold off. Knowing they couldn't walk up here in time. Not going to quite clean anything up here. Some feedbacks would have been really nice if you could afford to get this off, but not quite in range. That was a great bait out of Jjakji. Then forcing off that recall and an overcharge. That now it's of course dry. It's got no energy and pushing into the natural. Not at all out of the question, although somewhat unlikely with this giant choke. Ghosts are finishing up here in a moment's time. Stargate in the lower left is finally going to go down in a moment. Not that it's a big deal. Mothership core was picked off, but again, doesn't really matter. It was out of energy anyways. Had no health to begin with. 2 jobs going towards the main. We'll be able to pick off Templar too. Storm goes down, but it's not going to kill too much. Zealot army in the middle of the map.
Counterattack.
Yeah, that's a lot of zealots, but again, as we see, they're not the most durable things without this armor upgrades. Jjakji has 1-1 going for him. Going to pick off the Templar archives. Never mind, going to pick off these Templar, raw and pure.
That's a really good drop. And of course, Hasuobs, he's a little indecisive, couldn't decide what. Now he decides, okay, I'm going to go for the counterattack, but Ghosts are already out. That was really what's so powerful about his army is that there was no answer for storms, but now EMPs from the high ground could be huge.
Snipes have to be it for now. He doesn't have the energy for EMPs, but still good hits nonetheless. Storm's going to blanket a lot of this army, but there's still so much behind this. And the choke from these supply depots is fantastic. Jjakji cleans this up with very little issue, and Drop of the Main is going to clean this up. Good game is called. Jjakji will turn the series around and take it 2-1 in the end.
Yeah. Hasuobs really played to the map, played to the series that first game, and it worked out well for him, but just couldn't find a way to do it in the other 2 games.
Yeah, I mean, Hasuobs is a great player. Like I said, his games don't disappoint, but it was sad if you're a Hasuobs fan to see him go. That being said, we're going to find out what we're casting next, guys. We'll try and stick in the winners bracket. We may have to dip down to the losers bracket, though, but for now, we're going to run out some commercials, and we'll be back in a moment. So thank you very much for watching them. Again, we're not running too many today, just between series. We'll see you in a bit.